Hello. All right. So are you pinning me? Hold
I
on. I'll
am
go to the
seeing you
speaker view. Okay.
technical and pinned.
Am I pinned? Okay. Hello, everyone. So let me just, I am seeing you, Lene. We had the same thing going on yesterday. Pin. It's like
You
I have
pinned.
myself. All right. There's always that 1 minute of getting friendly with the technology all over again. It doesn't matter how many times we practice. So thank you so much for joining today. Welcome to all of you. And those of you, I know some of you, Lene just asked if you were here yesterday, so there's a repeat from yesterday. Many of you are new. I want to welcome all of you, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to be standing in front of you and speaking with you. So what I like to do is, if you can, on the right-hand corner under view, just for a moment, put under gallery mode so you can see everyone on the screen and create this, our kind of online connection with others. Yesterday, I stressed upon that we don't heal in isolation. Connection we need. It does not matter. Connection doesn't mean we need to sit right next to somebody. Connection is just the energetic connection. So go ahead and check out all the people who are here with you so you're not alone, and see if you can lock eyes with someone and give a nod, give a smile. And I want you to feel this collective field of safety, compassion, confidentiality, no judgment. You're not alone. You are in this together. We are in this together. So anything, whatever I teach, my work, my conviction comes from my own life's experiences. Whatever I say to you, it's not scripted. It is something that I feel deeply in my bones. So I'm convicted of it is because I have seen the results. So yesterday I shared my story about me being diagnosed with multiple health symptoms when I was in a very stressful marriage that should not have happened. And then I did have this light bulb moment where I looked around and I thought, how did I get here? I had like no memory of, like a whirlwind just dropped me in this 5,000 square foot home that didn't resemble anything like me. And I thought, oh my God, I need to get out of here. And that started my healing journey. And in that, I did mention anxiety. So my story of anxiety is this. I ended up with a frozen shoulder. I didn't know it was a frozen shoulder. My shoulder was not moving. I did a lot of yoga therapy and there was just something, a problem with it. So I went to see my doctor and right away he checked. He goes, oh, you're doing all the things that you're doing what yoga teachers do, because I'm a yoga teacher as well. He said, I'm going to schedule surgery. Like I felt subdued and I thought, okay, I didn't know surgery, why surgery? And then he said, here's a little prescription, which was for Paxil at that time. And I didn't know what that was for. He said to take the edge off. So I came home. I was under the pressure because I was still married to someone who should not be in my life. And I did take one pill, but what I didn't understand is why I didn't know the whatever things were going on in my head, why that was a problem, or even to call it anxiety. And just the whole, because I didn't understand it, I threw the things away. I didn't take after one pill. What I didn't understand is how I was feeling due to my situation. I'm trying to get out of a very difficult situation. I have a 4-year-old. I want to make sure both of us get out alive and safe, and how to take care of him single-handedly. Of course, I would be, if you call it anxious, worried, because I'm trying to figure stuff out moment by moment by moment. I'm trying to survive. Why was that a problem? Why does somebody need to fix it or take the edge off of it? So that's what I know about anxiety. But I do know that I have experience where there's just thoughts speeding at faster than I can catch them from different circumstances, because I was trying to figure out and reconcile and understand, but they were situational and they came and went. And also, I'm been in the practices of yoga, Ayurveda, healing, consciousness, spirituality for over 35 years. So for those of who are new here, I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, I'm a spiritual mentor. Many call me healer, it doesn't matter, but I'm in this world of health and healing really all of my life. So that's the topic that we are going to talk about today, anxiety and depression, because I know that it doesn't have to last us a lifetime. And like I said yesterday, we can heal from anything. So hold tight while I pull up my notes here so I can share with you. And just give me a second. Okay, so here we are. This is the topic today. So here's my message again, because we can't hear it enough. And it's the good news. We can heal from anything. If you want to blindly believe something, please believe this. Don't worry about, don't let the mind tell you, oh, it's just BS. No, you're just going to be, you're a glutton for punishment. You're not going to heal. Just live with it. Just take some pills and then wait for death to arrive. Just whatever is going on in your head, just put it in your head. You can heal from anything. Believe that. I believe that for you. So anxiety and depression is a big umbrella in which we have put a lot of our mental illnesses. Okay. Every mental illness or a disorder or a disease has this label of anxiety or depression. So it's a big umbrella. So all anxiety and depression, when it's a big umbrella, it's not all the same, which means we cannot give the generic treatment to everyone under that umbrella. It's very specific. So many times there's a lot of us who are struggling with just low grade being anxious. Low grade, like being in a down mood, where you just have to make a little extra effort to get off of the couch or do something or do the things that you need to do. The fire in the heart has dimmed. From the other extreme is being so anxious that it debilitates you. You lock yourself in your room and you're so depressed that the thoughts of ending your life frequently enter your mind. So having explained that to you, it is a topic that is not to be taken too seriously and is not to be taken too lightly. What the heck am I saying? On one hand, don't take it too seriously. On one hand, take it too lightly. Because it depends on your ability to discern and listen to yourself. And if there's someone in your proximity, and to listen to them, be a keen listener and observer. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next few minutes with you. So just to kind of put a frame around our retreat, yesterday we talked about autoimmune disease, chronic illness. Today's topic is on anxiety and depression, and it's like, healing the mind. And tomorrow's topic is going to be about relationships. So when we ignore something, so I talked about a component yesterday, which is called compassion. Compassion means that we are not dissing anything. It means we are validating whatever it is that we are experiencing. So that validation of what you are experiencing is needed, because when we ignore it, something that is low grade can become high grade and problematic. So anxiety and depression can be chronic. It's just your state of being. You experience it all the time to some degree, or it's situational. Situational is, there's a divorce going on, or there's a marriage going on, or there's a life transition, or you're moving to a new place, or you're getting a new job, or there's a conflict happening, or there's a lawsuit, or, someone hit your car, things like that. So that's situational. It comes and goes. It comes, and as the situation improves, you are fine. So some of the names that we have given to anxiety, we don't need to know all the names. It doesn't matter. There's social anxiety, anxiety of being with too many people because it takes up so much space in your head that you do not have. So you begin to feel this mind is filled with thoughts that are rapidly changing and moving, and you can't seem to get a hold of any thought. Then we have this new term, it comes from the social media, FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Social media has created another level of complexity to our mental health. And that's a separate anxiety all in itself, because it's very specific to what's happening on social media and our reaction to it. Health anxiety, anytime when we have chronic health issues, because you're not finding the resolution, because you maybe have been told that it's all in your head, maybe because you don't really understand how your state of health came to be, maybe you don't know what to do to fix it, you lose your power. So there's anxiety about it because you get separated from your body and you're no longer in charge. When we are no longer in charge, we're kind of shooting in the darkness. When we are not in charge of our health or our life, it's problematic because we really want to be engaged in our life. To be in charge of our life is to engage in our life, and engagement is needed for us not to be anxious about it because we are in charge. Nobody else is controlling our life. So again, how seriously to take it and how to take it lightly, it's very specific to each individual. And what it requires is your presence and your ability to listen to others and to listen to yourself. So yesterday we talked about mind is about the energy. What is energy? Energy is your thoughts in your mind. Energy is the belief patterns. So mind is energy. Because if I were to ask you, Val, show me your mind, you're like, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Because you can't show it to me. It's energy, but you feel it. You feel the anxiety. You feel the relentless thoughts in your mind. So that's the energy. So what do we know about energy? We know from our high school courses that energy cannot be destroyed or created. It can only be transmuted. What does that mean? If you have a negative thought and you think that you're going to destroy it, saying, no more negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, go away. Leave me alone. Does that work? What actually happens is that negative thought actually catches even more momentum because you're suppressing it. It's like, no way, Jose, I'm here to stay. It's energy, it becomes bigger. So when we block something, we actually amplify it. Okay. An example that I'm going to give you, if you ever think about, I am not going to think about the red truck. I'm not going to think about the red truck. I hate the red color. I don't like the red truck. Why do you even buy red color in trucks? You know what's going to happen? You're going to notice every red truck that you have never seen before. Because our mind does not pay attention to whether something is a is a negative or is a positive. It takes it as absolute. It's like, I am not going to eat ice cream. I'm not going to eat ice cream. I'm not going to eat ice cream. Next thing you know, you finish the whole tub. So It's the focus is the ice cream. So the mind, the psyche says, oh, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. It doesn't hear that not ice cream. It says red truck, red truck, red truck, and that's what becomes in your focus. So I want you to do a little exercise. I know you're sitting close to your screen, but if you can turn your head around and say, look at everything in your, can you find everything in your surrounding that is blue color? Just open your eyes and look around and say, can I find everything that is blue in the room? Even the clothes you're wearing. Okay, so my question to you is, did you see any yellow? You didn't see any yellow because your mind was focused on the blue. You see how when we focus the mind on something, the other things can fade away? That's called the mind focus. So how do we transmute the energy is we can turn negative thoughts into positive thoughts, but we cannot get rid of negative thoughts. Because if you don't think negative, all you end up doing is turning negative. So one example is, what if I fail? Well, turn it into a positive thought that says, what if you succeed? Don't say, what if I don't fail? Because the mind hears fail, fail, fail. What if, turn it into the positive, what if I succeed? So the mind here succeed, 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 success. It starts looking for ways and actions and behaviors that is going to bring about success for you. That's the mind mastery. Okay. And one also we have to understand that energy is circular. It's not linear. You can't start something and end something. That's why you keep on having the same thoughts, repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. 90% of our thoughts are repetitive. So pop a yes in the comment if this is making sense to you, if you got this point. Positive, how to focus the mind. That was a lesson here. Pop a yes in the comment if you got that lesson, if you got that learning. Okay. Very good. So yesterday I talked about the energy. The energy is the intellectual, the intelligence of the physical tissues. So mind is energy. Mind is not in our head. Mind is everywhere because energy is everywhere. So mind, body is the mind. Okay. Mind is the energetic part of the body. So mind is the body. So our energy is not separate from our physicality. It's all the same thing. It's just it's a nuance because in the modern world, we are finally waking up to the fact that we are energy. So in so doing, it's a good thing and a bad thing. We're looking for energy and we are letting go of the body. It's all ancients, those sages who meditated for years, they cognized this information. They understood that mind and body is one thing. They understood that a human being is a full, dynamic, multi-layered organism, but it's a one system. It's not separate from the other. We can think 1,000 thoughts and we end up where we started. So we can't solve the problems by thinking. What we do when we do that, we drive ourselves a little bit more crazy. Stop thinking. Stop trying to solve a problem the same place it came from. If the problem is in the mind, the thoughts, we can't keep thinking the same thought. You're going to hit a wall in a circle again and again and again, and you're going to get stuck inside a loop, never-ending loop that you don't know the way out. That's anxiety. When we can't get a hold of our anxiety, we can't do the things that we want to do. We lose our inspiration, we lose our motivation. It can debilitate us. We succumb to this predicament and we feel that we are doomed, hence depression. Depression is depressing the expression, pushing down what you feel because you don't know what to do with what you feel. So you push it down, you ignore it because you don't know how to handle it. Anytime when we mess with our inner world, with the mind, we mess ourselves up. Anytime when we tell ourselves, don't feel this thing, what we're doing, we're putting a mental layer over the reality of your being. It's a little bit too late. You've already felt it. The experience has already happened. And then to tell yourself to not feel it, it's denying your experience. That denial is a conflict that the inner world is in conflict. It's a conflict between the head and the heart. When we resolve that conflict, the mind can rest and it has space inside it. So pop a yes in the comment if that resonated with you. Do you understand it? So don't worry, we're going to talk about this and then I'm going to give you enough time for a Q&A at the end. So do you see what a big topic this is? It's not just learning a hack here and there. It's not just catching this meditation or that meditation. It's a practice, it's mind mastery. And I have created a program that addresses that. You need to have enough time. It's a full program where you understand the nature of the mind, the nature of the body, where you understand how you are an integrated human being, how one part affects the other part. It takes integration, it takes practices, it takes the right guidance, it takes the ability to connect the dots, it takes the finding the healer within, so you become symptom-free, peace in the mind, joy in the heart. There you go. You're ready to take on the world. So I will be sharing with you next easy step that you can take to talk with me personally. It's an exclusive gift for all of you where we can dive into what your biggest challenge is, map out a plan and see if you qualify for the program. Okay, so stay tuned for the details to make sure that you book a session. The only requirement is that your commitment level to your own health is at least a level 8 from a scale of 1 to 10. I am 100% in, committing you, hand holding you, I'm standing here for you, but then you need to do your part. Okay, so stay tuned. All right. So when we think about the elements, we understand there are 5 elements, and all of the 5 elements are in our body. The functionality is in the body, and those elements are also in nature. So when we think about the element, space and air, right? Where is the space and air element in the body? It is your circulation, your breath, your movements, your communication from the nervous system to the body, and all the micro communications that happen inside the body system. So what do we know about space and air element? So when it's windy, go outside. What happens? The wind has no direction. As soon as you find a direction, it changes direction. You're like, make up your mind. Your hair fly all over the place. It becomes chaotic. You get whipped around and you may feel cold, brittle, and it's a problem. It's going to make you feel the energy of the wind is irregular. The air is irregular. It has no direction. So you begin to feel off your kilter. You begin to feel anxious because you just took on the energy of the air element. But look at what the windmill does. The windmill takes those elements, the air, the wind, and it turns it into electricity. So it's not that thoughts in your mind are a problem. It means you have an active mind. It just means we need to redirect them. We need to give them a channel so they can express themselves in the highest version, in the highest potentiality. So you already have the raw material. Raw material is your mind and your thoughts. Now we're going to make it into the final product, which is peace in the mind, focus in activity, focus in life, and voila. So, and that's a process. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and stretch your arms out because I need to do that. Oh, take a breath and recommit. So just like around 11 o'clock, I felt I really needed to take a nap. I've been going all day yesterday. So no, I didn't take a pill. I didn't do something. So actually I did a meditation and it took care of my fatigue and I was ready to go. So I want you to, in your workbook, there are some spaces that I have provide that you can use to jot down if you feel like kind of having a conversation with yourself, and I'm going to prompt you with the questions, or you can just simply listen, okay? So I don't want you to frantically think you have to get everything that's coming out of my mouth. You have to listen with more than just my words. You have to feel the energy. You have to, it's like getting a transmission. What is your experience of when you're listening to me? Hopefully I'm imparting my energy to you, my energy of believing in you, my energy of that you can heal, my energy of conviction, my energy of like, I may know a thing or two about anxiety and depression because every single client who walks in with any physical trauma, ailment, this is a big part of it. Okay. So I want you to take a moment and think about what is it that you feel? That should be the first question, which I didn't write here. What is it that you feel? Give it words. Depressed, anxious, angry, sorry for myself, lack of inspiration, confused, overwhelmed, abandoned, isolated. What do you feel? Don't judge it. Just let it come out. Just a raw feeling. Let it come out. Put it on your piece of paper. What do you feel? Maybe you feel stuck. Maybe you don't even know what the heck you feel. So that's confusion. Okay. But that's a feeling. Put it down. Question number 2, why do you feel what you feel? Tell me more. Tell me more about this feeling that you just told me you're having. What is the more? Why? Oh, I feel like there's like 10 things to do and I feel like I need to do them all at once. I don't know which one to do. And I feel like I'm listening to this talk here. I don't know all the things she's saying. Not everything is making sense. I don't even know where to begin. Now you're telling me more. Okay. That's why you schedule that breakthrough session with me. Number 1, you're committed. Number 2, you want to end that confusion. We'll get clear on what's going on with you. And then it's up to you to take the next step or not. Okay. Is there inner conflict? That's a source of anxiety. Your heart is feeling something else. Your mind is telling you otherwise. Actually, the truth is the entire healing journey is a short journey from your head to your heart. Lene agrees. And it'll take you your entire lifetime to get there. It's a cosmic joke. It's so close, yet so far. Okay. So it's a conflict between the head and the heart. Like I gave an example, you feel something, but the mind says, don't feel it. It's a problem. You've already felt it. So you might as well go with what you're feeling if you want to save yourself. There's external pressure. Where is the mind's a different way of thinking is coming from this external pressure? What have we been taught all our life? So if you are actually feeling this, I want to tell you, it is not your fault. If you're anxious and depressed and have other mental diseases, it's not your fault. We have not been taught. We are just lucky enough that we are moving through this awakened time that we can have honest conversations about this and rid ourselves of these problems that we are experiencing because we don't need to. So the external pressure is, don't say that. You should not feel that. It's such a wrong sentence. Feelings are feelings. They cannot be should or should not. You don't have control over them. You have control over what you do with them, but you don't have control over what you feel. That's your compass. That's a stationary, that's a constant thing. Okay. So where the mind's telling you so many other things, is that coming from external pressure? Most of the time it is, because we are affected by our external environment. We cannot live on an island. We can't hide ourselves in a closet. We are affected by other people. That's why it serves us to pay attention to who are we hanging out with? What are we watching? What are we listening? What are we subscribing to? Finding your voice from inner clarity. So when I asked you to, what do you feel? Give it a word. I am asking you to add language to your feelings. So we can now work with them and use them and play with them. So that's finding the voice. So sometimes when we don't give it a language, we end up feeling this heavy confusion, something out of sorts. We don't know what it is. We just live like that. But if we ask, what is it? What in the world is it? I always ask, like sometimes, I feel out of sorts. I'm like, what in the world? What is this? What is it that you are feeling? And if I don't know what it is, I go for a walk, I forget about it, and then it comes to me. But I'm looking for that answer. I need that answer so I know what the heck to do with it. Okay, it's a process. So what exercises? So I think I put that there because when there's so much fear and worry around this, in this whole umbrella of anxiety and depression, it's like, what if this happens? So I always say, what is your biggest worry? So you know what, actually, let's do this exercise. What is your biggest worry? Write it down, and then suppose it happens. My spouse may leave me. So Neelam, I am going to answer all the questions towards the end, so hold on to your questions. So what? So they leave me. So what? I'm going to be devastated. So what? I'm going to cry a lot. So what? Then I'm going to get really exhausted. I'm probably going to go to sleep. So what? Well, I wake up in the morning. Now I'm hungry. Now I better go make myself something to eat. So you eat. But I feel so empty and lonely. So what? So nothing. I'll just sit there, be sad, and cry some more. Go ahead. So what? You know what happens at the end? So nothing. The earth is still under your feet. The sky is still above your head. You're still there in your body. Nothing has happened, except someone has left. So it sucks. Life sometimes sucks. Welcome to life. Feel it. Be alive in it. Wake up from it. We're not here to be just every time, picture perfect, Instagram happy. We are here to experience a whole spectrum of emotions. Sometimes we get stabbed in the heart. Sometimes we get betrayed. Sometimes life just shocks the living daylight out of you. Sometimes unexpected joys enter your life. Sometimes there's a pain there of a relative or a sibling or somebody that just constantly nagging at you. Sometimes people leave you. Sometimes you get screwed over. Okay? You're not going to win every time. You're going to win some, lose some. Enjoy it. The point is to be able to shout from the rooftop when you have completely lost it all. It's like, thank you, God. Do you have anything else for me? Bring it on, damn it. It's called human life. It's called being alive. If somebody is telling you you're always supposed to be this monotonous one feeling, they're lying to you. Nothing is going to happen to you. You know, I attended this workshop with this, her writer's name is, I think Mariah. I don't know the last name. She was doing a workshop in New York. I was attending this conference. You know what she said? So she went through this whole exercise where people started crying. She said, your rule is no one gets up from their seat to go comfort the other person. She said, sit on your seat, feel your own pain, cry the tears. And you know what she said? She said, pain does not kill anybody. It's a harsh thing to say when you're in pain, but that's the truth. So you are built to, when the pain is opening your heart, heart is your treasure. You want it open so you can use that treasure. You don't want to close the heart from fear of getting hurt, because closing the heart itself is the biggest pain you will ever have in your life. So when you open your heart, you open your heart. Pain cracks your heart open. Whole, not broken in pieces. Heart cannot be broken in pieces. Even when it's broken in pieces, every piece is a whole. So you're not in pieces. Papa, yes, in the comment, if you got that. So yesterday, those of you who were here yesterday, I gave you this process of believing, DCPC. I made that up. Make a decision. Make a commitment to that decision. Participate so that decision has some room to be cultivated. Okay? Have compassion, which means you open your heart to everything that comes in the process. It's like, it's not like pick and choose. You know, I know I made this decision and this bad thing happened. I don't want to do it. No, notice it, because you have to wait for the good things to happen too. It's the whole process. You go all in. And I'm going to quickly tell you a story. I was 12 years old. My mom, who loved to travel, she traveled alone with her brother. My dad did not go because he was a dedicated doctor. That's all he did. He served humanity his entire life. My mom comes home from her travel with a broken leg, limping. My dad said, well, it serves you right. I told you to stop traveling so much. But anyways, so he told her, do this, do this, do this. She totally ignored him. What did he knew? It was only the doctor that everybody listened to. So my dad brought this healer. I was in the other room. The healer brought this oil in his bottle, and he was telling my mom, if you massage your leg with this every day, you're going to heal. I listened to that. I was not going to have my mom limp. I said, that's it. I took on with that. Every single day, I massaged my mom without a fail. My mom's leg healed. She said, Meena healed me. I just believed it. I believed him. I didn't know what was in the oil. I didn't know how long to massage her for. I did not know when I was going to get the result. I just knew that if I keep massaging my mom, one day she's going to not limp. That's it. So that's the power of believing. So I committed. I participated. I massaged her. Compassion means when my mom said, okay, honey, it's okay, it's good enough. Then I listened to her. She said, I want more. I listened to her. She said, do it lighter. I listened to her. Do it heavier. I listened to her. I didn't say, oh, mom, stop complaining. Be thankful that I'm massaging you. No, I just followed her clues. So that's what belief is, an innocent belief in your heart. And it is powerful. Can you Find somewhere inside of you where you can believe in yourself. Pop a yes in the comment if you're willing to do that. Conscious choice. We live in a world of choices, alternatives, information coming at us, right? It is more imperative than ever before that we make a conscious choice. Who is feeding your mind? So take a moment here, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Go sit inside your head. Take a moment to notice all the thoughts banging around, going everywhere in your head. Go notice that. Then imagine a plug. One side is plugged into your head. The other plug is plugged into this whole wide external. There's the news, there's the, self-proclaimed gurus and healers. There is the marketers, there's the podcasters, there's this book, there's your mother, father, your family members who know it all. Your well-wishers, your community. That's the external. It's hard to manage so many people in one person's head. It's because you're not supposed to be managing them. I want you to unplug that plug that was in the external. Please unplug it and plug it into your heart. Let your heart feed your mind. And that's it. Let your heart guide your mind. Let your heart feed your mind. That's the conscious choice you make. What difference did you notice? What did you notice? Please pop it in the comments. So mind mastery, it's a thing. It's not a fairy airy thing. It's a thing. It's a process. It's full of tools and techniques. It's a deep wisdom and knowledge. And my program is filled with mind mastery. Because just like we have to master the body, we have to master the mind. We have to master our energy. Taking a breath will redirect the mind. Music, listening to music, mantras, repeating the mantras, they overpower the thoughts in the mind. So what exercise that we just did? Off the screen, because turn the screens off means the plug that was in the screen, you unplugged it. You don't let the screens or the external world feed your head, because you're not supposed to take information from there. You're supposed to take it from your heart. God created us that way. Listen up. So, this is how I wanted to present this. How do we take care of a 2-year-old? You know why? Because understand the nature of the mind. Mind is like a 2-year-old. My mind, your mind is the same. It's a monkey mind. So if you ever had a 2-year-old, or if you know a 2-year-old or from other family members, what do you do with the 2-year-old? Do you tell a 2-year-old, just go wander around the house? Well, when you do that, they run amok, right? They get into things they shouldn't be getting into. So you give them a direction. You say, oh, here's a Lego. Here's a coloring book. Go sit and do this. They know to sit, they know to do that thing, and they do it for hours until they get bored, right? The 2-year-old, you give them a structure, you give them a plan, you give them a clear boundaries. What do we tell them? You're going to have your breakfast. Mama and you are going to go for a walk. Then we're going to come home and take a nap. Like my son used to say, okay, Mama. Because he felt safe that, okay, I know what I'm going to do. My mom is telling me to do this. I'm going to listen to this, and I'm going to be safe. What happened during COVID time where anxiety and depression went rapid is because the plan, the structure that we had with going to like a specific outside job or a time structure. The online made everything available, doable 24/7. People lost that boundaries, that structure. So I had a client who came to me who had severe anxiety in COVID time. What he was doing was from bedroom, like he was just, there was no beginning or there's no end to the day. He was just rolling from bedroom to the couch, to the couch, to the bedroom with computer everywhere. And then all of a sudden he became so anxious. And then the fear came in. He couldn't sit still because he was so afraid of sitting still. He thought, because he watched reel after reel or all the social media and whatnot. So after working with me for 3 months, he was anxiety-free, he was fear-free because we brought structure, safety, boundaries, and a plan in his life. And he became himself again. What else do we do with the 2-year-old? They need to be held. They need reassurance. I got hurt. What do? You pick them up. You kiss them. You kiss their boo-boo. You reassure them that mommy is here. You make them feel safe. Your mind needs to feel safe. When you give it boundaries and structure and a plan, it feels safe. Like I had to know, okay, what am I doing today? 10 minutes for this, 20 minutes for this, 10 minutes for this. But if I look at everything I have to do, I wouldn't be here in front of you talking. Okay? Limit screen time is really, I put that deliberately because that's the external. And I just taught you how to unplug from the external and plug into the internal. Why do we do that? Because mind argues, heart knows. Go where you know. Don't get caught in the mind arguments. We can't heal the mind with the mind. Moving, move your body, save your head. Take an action. If we keep thinking about something, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, but we don't actually do it because you don't have clarity, you're not going to have clarity from non-doing. Clarity is going to come from doing. Structure, plan, boundaries, mind mastery, it's a thing. So what exercises? Focus shifting, and relearn just sitting for 30 seconds. Everybody's going to close your eyes. Close your eyes for 30 seconds. Nobody moves, nobody talks, and I'll tell you when the time is up. You may open your eyes. So you want to experience silence and stillness. It creates space in your head. Space is the antidote to anxiety. And with the mental disorders, I want to just touch upon it because so many people are on medication and they have this thing about believing, I don't believe, I believe. Put the belief aside, leave it for something else. I want to look at what works and what you may need. So don't get freaked out about having to take medication for a short term. So you can think straight. It's not meant for long-term purpose, but short-term so you can think straight, so you can function in your life and develop other habits and work with somebody so you can find those tools and master them. You can get off the medication. So if the medication is needed in some situations, don't put your belief over it. Take what you need. You need to be able to think straight, okay? Participate in your health when you go to the doctor. Don't just take the prescription, ask questions, take ownership because it is your health. Don't let a doctor just prescribe it to you. Ask him why, ask him what else is available, ask him for how long, ask him about the side effects, ask him, can I talk to somebody who's taken this medication? Can you tell me what happened? No questions are too many. No questions are wrong questions. This is your life, 100%. It is not your doctor's life. It is not my life. I need to listen to you. in order for me to know how to treat you best. Okay, and then you can listen to me because you feel heard, not the other way. So in this way, you train the doctors on how to treat you, accepting the status quo by going to the doctor and not asking a question. You are contributing to the status quo of the medical world. It's your life, your responsibility. Please participate. And I do want to touch upon this. I quickly made this slide because many mothers, fathers are worried about the young adults. It's rampant among young adults. We don't have a lot of time to go into it, but here's my 5 things. Stop fixing, start listening. Stop giving them generalized advice. Don't give them words. Don't give them everything you know. It doesn't matter. It creates more anxiety. They need space in their head. Empty space is the antidote. Be a keen observer. And yesterday I said the number one reason why people don't heal is lack of worthiness. So reclaiming your worthiness is medicine. Reclaiming your worthiness is medicine. Take that home. All right, so I promise that I'm going to give you the next easy step. The next easy step is exclusively for the participants of this retreat. I have created, it's my gift to you, a half-an-hour healing breakthrough session. Who should sign up for that session? Those people who are committed in spending the time and the money that is needed for you to get the support. We will dive into your pressing challenge, map out a mini plan, and then I will see if you qualify for my program. Not everybody qualifies, but I can guide you as to what program do you qualify for, how do we work together, or if it's not me, then what do you need to do? So please only book if you're committed. My slots are limited. Yesterday I was in appointments all the day way till 8:30 at night. So I'm here to help you, but please be discerning as to who books. Make sure that you are committed. And your homework. Thank you for those who put their homework in the Women Breaking Free Facebook page. Thank you so much. Welcome to the group. Same thing today. You have the link to ask to join Women Breaking Free. I'm checking my phone and I'll let you in. And actually, I will put the homework CTA too. And under that in the comments, put your homework for today. The homework is same thing. What is your biggest takeaway for this anxiety and depression, and how that insight, how that learning is going to help you be free of anxiety and depression? So that's what you're going to put down. The doing your homework every day and showing up live is going to make you eligible for some prizes that I'm going to announce at the end of the retreat. So that's where we're at. Why am I committed? Because I know you can heal. Because I've been where you are. Because it's not a mountain that you have to climb. You don't have to spend decades in a therapy or a doctor's office. You really don't. You can invest just a handful of time, just a number of months, and you can get to the other side of it. All right, at this point, I am going to stop the share. Take a moment, take a deep breath. Don't worry about what you didn't get. Don't worry about what didn't make sense. Throw it away. Just tune into one thing that you learned today that can bring some light into your way of thinking, that can help you in moving forward. So at this point, the floor is open. So in order to ask questions, I recommend that it's much easier and much more informal if we can just raise our hand, and Lene here will pin you so I get to see you and ask your questions. All right. And I am going to give you that option. If you want to write a question in the comments because you don't feel like speaking or coming on the camera, you can do that. Lene will look at your question and she will just, read it out loud, and I will address that to the best of my ability. Lene, that sounds good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's now or never.
We did have Neelam, who did have a question, but I think that was her who just tried to come on.
Okay.
But we are open.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, can you tell me more about the so what exercises and what are the different kinds and what works for everyone?
So, sure. So tell me what challenge that is causing you the problem at this moment.
There are many.
Okay, okay, let's talk about the one that you are okay to share, that you feel comfortable sharing.
Mm,
And
I,
if you don't, this is what you do is, so what is thinking the worst case scenario?
Mhm.
Um,
Maybe this is a situation wherein, I think about my younger sibling not listening to me, and I take that as if that qualifies
gotta
for.
qualify, sure. So if that's causing anxiety, so
Mhm.
what if they don't listen to you?
Mhm.
So what? Like, answer that question. So what if they don't listen to you?
I feel that he's not going into the right direction sometimes.
Okay, so they go the wrong direction because they didn't listen to you. So what?
Yeah, that's why I just feel bad about it.
So you're sad. So what?
Okay.
So you're sad that they're going in the wrong direction and hurting themselves. So what?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what? Nothing. They're going to go in the wrong direction, and eventually they're going to hit their head against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to get up and say, "Holy shit, she was right." But you never want to tell them, "I told you so." You know what you want to tell them? Just
Mm-hmm.
say, I have an idea. Are you willing to ask them? I was thinking that this thing that I know, it may be beneficial for you. And whenever you want to, ask me. And you see how you take the burden off of you and put it in their lap, make them responsible. You can ask me if I will be happy to share. And if they never ask you, they're not interested. And
Okay.
if they ask you, they're actually willing to listen. Now you got them listening. And when they do listen to you, don't dump them with everything you know. Share one thing. Just say, I think, softly. And
Mm-hmm.
don't blame them. Don't make them bad. Don't make them wrong. Don't make yourself good. Just say, I heard this or I listened to this, and I just get this feeling that this might help you. You can give it a try.
Yeah.
And listen to that. But if you said you know it for sure, and then what else? They say, you know what? No, it's not working for me. Just say, you know what? I totally agree. I totally understand. And I really think you are going to figure this out. You give them the confidence to be able to go the wrong path, see it for themselves, learn, and they'll figure it out. Don't rob your loved ones of the opportunities for learning
Mm-hmm.
life through their own processes.
Yeah. I think we just try that, they don't get into some wrong direction or they don't get, you know, uh, they don't end up hurting themselves. So we just try to protect them and that.
Protect them, but I mean, I'm not saying that when you do that, you just totally let go. You be a keen presence and a keen observer, which means you pay attention, you listen, you watch out for them. And sometimes, depending on what has happened, there may be a need for intervention. Whatever, if the wrong path is, so maybe there may be a time for intervention. And one thing about adults, the young adults, is it's very difficult to win with them.
Yeah.
So how to win them is try not to win. Is it just softly, gently listen, listen, listen. Don't fix them.
Mhm.
Listen to them. No words, very few words. It just causes more pressure in their head. That's where the problem is. They're trying to sort out their own voice. And if you fill their head with your voice, now you've done them in. Less is more. It's your presence, your loving presence. It's a hug. It's a reassurance saying, you're going to figure it out, and I'm here if you need me. And here's a cup of tea and a little squeeze on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Here is, I was going to go for a walk. Do you want to come? That kind of a thing.
It really feels so good to listen to you that, it can be this easy. But, when you have so much emotions and worries in your mind that, what will happen.
Yeah, so those emotions and worries, they are yours.
Yeah.
You are projecting it onto them. And tomorrow we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to have a blast tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
because relationships are a pain in the butt, but they can also be very funny
Mm-hmm.
because we project ourselves on people we care about. We project our own worries. It's your worry. It's your worry. It's your deal. It's not their deal. You need
Yeah.
to learn to separate what is yours, what is theirs.
Right. Thank you so much. I feel
You're
so
welcome.
better.
You are welcome. And I'm sure that, help Asha, go ahead, and I see that you have a hand raised. Asha, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you, Meena. And
Sure.
I think I would just like to probably continue from the last question or the concern, and I would like to just shift it towards from siblings to your own children.
Mhm.
I don't know how how others deal with this, but I think I have been facing this issue that probably because I suffer from anxiety issues, and then if I see my son, getting a little upset about something, or if I see something in him, that is something that worries me, or I feel that maybe what if he's also going to get, or what if I am going to pass on the same
How
to my son.
how
That's
old is
I think that's my
your
oh he's quite young. He's not even he's 11 and a half. He's a I
okay.
mean young boy.
So
Yeah.
you know how we heal our children? How
Mm-hmm.
we disrupt the cycle of passing things on to our children? We do our
Yeah.
own inner healing work.
Yeah, probably.
You have to make
I
that
think, and
commitment. Yes.
yeah, I think the way you were saying about siblings, that it's our problem, and I do have that thing in my mind. Maybe it's only it's because it's me who's feeling that way, and I'm having the same kind of,
You know,
maybe there's
yeah.
nothing happening with him, but it's
No,
in
it's
my mind.
not,
And
because when the healing work for you, Asha, is to transform your worry into trust.
true. Yeah,
It's to
I think.
that's the whole journey, right? When you trust, you build trust in your life, you give him confidence. A few weeks ago, we did a workshop on moms struggling with adult children.
Mhm.
When your worry energy is taking your children's confidence away,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need to disrupt that energetic cyclical pattern from repeating. You have to address your worry and transform it into trust. When you trust, your 11-year-old is going to trust because mama trusts.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, I think
the healing work. Have you scheduled your breakthrough session with me, Asha?
Not yet, not yet. I have
You
to discuss
should.
that. Like
You
yeah,
should, but also you have to be committed to make sure that you're not just looking for a little fragmented information here, little fragmented information there. Reading this, reading that is going to, one of the requirements I give to my clients who work with me, I tell them to stop Googling things.
yeah,
And I'm serious. They come to me, I said, here's your homework. You are not going to Google anything.
right.
Stop Googling, stop getting more information. This is about transformation. Stop filling your head with more information that you don't know what to do with. You need
That's
transformation.
right.
You need to have a trust, so much trust that you don't need to go figure out the answers from Dr. Google.
That's true. Yeah, I think
That's
that
a
I do that
process.
a lot.
That's a commitment you want to make. Because what happens, we read all the information, we worry, whoever we are worried about, we sit in front of them, we regurgitate, we dump on them. I read this, you can
I
do
do
this,
that. Yeah,
you can do that, you can do, you know what you just did? You just made that
yeah.
person anxious. This is the start of their anxiety and depression.
I sometimes, I mean, I don't have any kind of, hesitation in sharing this, because sometimes if he's showing some kind of, if he's upset about something, or if he's maybe anxious or scared of something, I think I've been telling him that don't do this, or don't show that kind of behavior, and he's like, okay, mama, I'm sorry that I shared that with you. And I felt sorry that my child is feeling sorry for sharing his feelings. It's all because of my what I
Because he doesn't
did
want
to
to
him.
worry you.
True.
He doesn't want to worry you, and you already have so much worry energy inside of you, which is coming from, I'm sure, traumatic things. That's what you have to heal. So he doesn't want to add to it. So what he's going to do, he's going to tell you what makes you happy to hear.
Yeah.
He's going to start hiding things. Kids are very good with this.
And that's
Kids
what I
love
don't
you as
want.
much as you
No.
love them.
Yeah.
They don't want to worry you. They won't tell you things. They'll just please you. So
Yeah.
mama doesn't get worried.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have to go deeper as to where this worry is coming from. We have to start connecting the dots, and you need to become whole and trusting in your own self. And your presence is going to just give your son the confidence that he needs to be an adult. You have to become the
Yeah.
model. You have to break this cycle. You have to disrupt this energetic pattern that gets passed on from generation to generation. And you can do that. Decide to do that. Make a commitment and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay? So I encourage you to
Sure.
think about how committed you are if you're ready to start this healing journey. And then when you're ready, schedule the session with me for 30 minutes.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You are so
I'll
welcome.
do that.
Okay. And who has a question?
She's up.
Who is this?
Neelam's.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. How can I help?
Oh, is just I curious about the things, what the Ayurvedic healing and something like that. And I have nothing like that, but the sometimes is don't the some moment is not going on the time, and then is the stop the things like that. I don't think about that and something like that.
So I'm not understanding your question.
Oh, okay. The sometimes is the some things is the on time the things doing, but is don't happen. Then is the I stop the things. I think leave it. I don't want to do it like that.
So you're doing something and you don't get the results you want and you get discouraged and then you don't want to do it?
yeah, sometimes is because I'm in my bucket is too many things, and that the things going on.
So I'm not quite sure about the question, but it seems like there's a lot of you being overwhelmed because there's so many things and not everything you can pay attention to. Am I correct?
Pay attention, but sometimes the family members and something like this no pay attention to me, and what I have
Yeah,
to
so there's a
them the
whole like,
things like
yeah,
that,
it's a
you
whole
know.
relationship dynamics, dysfunctions that are playing a big role, seems like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's just, it reminds me of an example I gave one of my clients who just in this huge family dynamic dysfunction is think about think about like a basket that you have sitting around your house that's filled with old yarn.
Mm-hmm.
There's a blue yarn, red yarn, yellow yarn, whatever, and it's been sitting there for so long that the yarns get entangled with one another. So if you wanted to get the blue yarn out to use, you can't use it because it is so entangled. So the task is to trace the blue yarn
Mm-hmm.
through all the other yarns, colors, and little by little untangle and pull it out, and hopefully without breaking all the other yarns around you or your own yarn. So complex family dysfunctions can look like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens more than you think. I'm blown away. I'm disturbed
Mm-hmm.
as to how much it happens. I'm like, oh my God, people really need to learn. So it's a learning how to untangle. This is a healing process that you want to undertake if you're committed to undertaking that. And that's the process that I help you with.
Yeah.
That is the work that I do with you. It's a process, it's hand-holding, it's guiding you. It's whatever shows up is teaching you what to do with it. So and in the absence of the right guidance, you're just going to keep on getting entangled, not just you, everyone else around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but is like so many things to do. I have to do so many things because I am like one kind of the artist. I have to do that. I have to do that.
So you
And
need support. You're not going to do
yeah,
it all by yourself. You're going to run yourself.
no,
You
no,
do
no,
your
no,
head
no,
in.
no, like, but I need the specific time to do it, my work. Nobody is disturb to me. They do on your things. Don't disturb to me like that.
Yeah, looks like you are in quite you feel stuck. The situation isn't changing. It's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And all I
If
can,
I
yeah.
do I start do something and somebody come and do for me this and give it to me that, I don't like that things. I wanna, this is my time. I have the separate time. Nobody disturb to me. What am I doing my work like that? And but the artist is
So
not
now I
like.
understand. I think I see your predicament, and I would love to support you if you commit to doing the work yourself. So all I can suggest is that give it some thought. And it's not that it's not about the problem. My question to you is, yes, I see the problem, you see the problem. What are
Mhm.
you willing to do about it? If you're not going to make a change to do something about it, then you're stuck inside the problem. So it's a decision that you have to make. All right. So I'm going
Yeah,
to move on to the next person. RK, you have your hand raised. How can I help?
thank you
Thank you so much.
so much.
Hi, Meena. How are you?
I am good. How are you? Who is this?
I'm RK, Rupi.
Hi, Rupi. Nice to see you.
Yes, same here. Um, I think I feel like I'm blessed when I received your email,
Yeah.
and I don't know with the I like to take these sessions,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel sleepy when I'm taking these sessions. I don't know, maybe it's on too much on my mind. Um, my insecurities really bothers me from
Okay.
I'm so much insecure. Like we are still like a business people. Like I was running business, but it's more likely I came out from the business because my husband was taking over too much. So I feel like my decisions were not mattered over there. And almost from my 30s to now I'm 50, from 30s to 50, 20 years,
Oh
I
my God.
helped him with his business. And now in 50s, I'm not the person who can restart the future. It's
Oh,
not like we are separated or anything, but I right now it's just like I think I heard you from saying that like going from one room to the sofa and sofa to the bedroom. I hate living this kind of life.
oh my goodness. Please feel my arms around you. I am so sorry you are in so much pain. And I can see that. I can see the damage that has happened over the last 20 years. But I want to tell you that you can change that. This exactly the situation that you are in is actually the stage. That stage has been set. God is telling you, here is what I'm giving to you. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to learn what you need to learn? Are you going to heal yourself? Are you going to take a stand for yourself? Are you going to see yourself? Are you going to be able to speak your voice? It has nothing to do with hurting your husband. It doesn't even have to involve leaving him. It's not about that. It's about you becoming you. And that's the most important thing. And you're not going to heal by yourself. But what I heard is that you're sick and tired of living this way. Now, the next step is, what is your plan of action? If you're sick and tired of living this way, then we need to take an action. What is that action that you're committed to taking? Without making a commitment of time and money, you're going to stuck in this situation. And I hope that you take me up on this offer, that you really, first of all, get clear and get committed and say yes to getting extra support. The program may be a good fit for you. I don't know. I need to know a little bit more, but I think it is these are people. Sometimes I'm a doctor, so first I want to stop the bleeding. So many times people are bleeding so intensely that I need to stop the bleeding so I can save their life. And then they can do the healing work. So I have my own process of qualifying people. So I will be happy to do that with you. If you are ready to commit, please commit. My heart breaks when you are hurting so much, and you're not the only one. There's so many people who are hurting so much. What did I just tell you? You can heal. You need to believe. Nobody's going to come and tell you, go heal. Here's the money. Here's my permission. You need to give yourself the permission. You need to put your wings back on. Nobody's going to do it for you. And I'm here to do that with you. So if you're ready to put your wings back on, and that goes to all the other women, we so easily let people touch our wings and cut them off. And then we wonder why we can't fly. The heart wants to fly, the soul wants to fly, but you got no wings. It's time to put your wings back on. Make that commitment, come see me, and let's get rocking on this. Let's get you healed. Let's get you change your predicament. And instead of crying, you can actually come on the screen next year and say, I did Meena's program, people. Look where I am today. You can be the voice of inspiration. There's so many people, so many women who would love to hear that. So do you see how you can turn the painful negative thought patterns into the positive by bringing in the hope, the inspiration, the opportunity, and taking a bold stand for you? The truth is, Anything less than bold is just not going to cut it. If we are wishy-washy, if we're not sure, we're like whatever, then the life is going to be whatever. You have to take a bold action. You have to take an action towards yourself. Are you important enough? Are you worthy enough? Can you come to the yes? And then what in the world are you willing to do with it? So I'm sending you positive vibes. I'm sending you the inspiration, the motivation to wake up. And when you're ready, please schedule the session with you. I would love to support you to getting to that place of joy and worthiness and your self emerge from this predicament that you're in. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and Prabha, somebody came into the room. So please take that. And I'm going to take the next question. Who's next?
Indra's up. She has been waiting. She's already up.
Andrea?
Hi, Meena.
Hi, Andrea.
Indira.
Alira, hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, my question was regarding the first two question continuation, with parents, the parents kids problem, right?
Okay.
So just wanted to continue that, I don't know, like we as parents, me and my husband, we are trying to do our best, whatever way we can, but somehow there's always a big sentence that like a blame game kind of,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like my son, I have both my son and daughter both in the university, right? My daughter is 26, my son is will be 19. Okay, so the thing is that son not much, but daughter, as I was also telling you, she's also going through a autoimmunity issue. So it always seems that we did a lot of wrong things, and if we would have not taken the trauma from our parents, probably we would be different, and then we would treat our kids differently.
Yeah.
So this blame game kind of, we have to stop,
So,
right?
blame underneath. So thank you. I hear your question, and I acknowledge that you have understood that the thread is coming from your own bringing up from your parents. It's a generational thing. It's getting passed on and passed on, passed on. So that's the healing work. That's the work that I do in my program. So I want to give you a little insight on the kids between the age 20 and 30. It's a very difficult time for them. Their frontal lobe is not even developed. And there's a rage inside of them from many, 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 many things, because what they thought life was, life isn't. All the responsibility they have to take, it sucks. So underneath that there's actually a lot of anger. Blame, shame are mind made. Our mind makes that stuff up to make us survive. When we are really angry, it's difficult to digest the anger towards yourself. So we project it to who are you going to blame? Of course, it's the mother and the father's fault. Most of the time, it's the mother's fault. Of course, it's your fault. Because a mother is a safe space to dump everything on. Because what are you going to do? You can't leave them. You can't divorce your children, right? So you take on the blame. It's not that I'm telling you take on the blame, not take on the blame. It's a time for conversation. Conversation is like, honey, I can see that you are angry and you think that somehow I have contributed to something that you're angry about. You know what? I am all ears. I want to sit here. Tell me what you're angry about. And it is possible that you and your husband have done things not intentionally to hurt your children, but nonetheless, they have hurt your children. Could there have been a different way? And then you say, you know what, this is what I knew to do. Now that I understand that it impacted you this way, now I regret. Now I wish that I could have done this differently. I'm sorry, honey. I'm learning. You know,
Yes, yes,
parents don't come made up. Like parents don't come
exactly.
perfectly. Yeah, parents, they
So,
don't come perfectly made. And God says, you're a perfect parent. You're human beings. Parenting is a practice. The whole life is a practice. Just say, I will continue to learn from you, and I will continue to be the kind of parent that will give you support and love and nurturance and everything you need. So you open up the floor for conversation. You want to hear them, listening to them, not making what they feel wrong, but also not being a doormat where they dump everything on you without taking their own personal responsibility. And that's an
yeah,
art. It's an art of communicating and listening and learning. How do you work with those people? So you want to keep yourself intact, but you also want to keep a safe space for them to be themselves, for them to know they are heard, that they can come and say
talk about
everything
it.
to their
Right.
mom and talk about it, and that's all they need. And they know you love them. They love you too. But they're
Yeah,
in this stage where the emotional maturity isn't there. They're angry. They're angry, and it's your fault. And
right.
it's not to be taken that seriously, but if there is serious and is turning into something else, then it's time for an open dive in and a conversation. But I think what it's pointing to is when it's triggering you, when the kids' words are triggering you, that is your trigger, that's coming from the past trauma. If you don't heal the past trauma, you have looped your kids into your cyclical energetic patterns, and now they can't escape. You've
Yeah,
got
so
this stuff.
actually, my daughter also told me all these, and I nowadays I have a lot of conversation with her. So it also, the way lifestyle is nowadays, like I left India around maybe more than 20 years back. So things, when you are in a different country, again, with the kids, a lot of struggle, you have to put a lot of time in your career. And then even my husband was out, I was in Canada taking care of the kids, and my husband was in US, like all such things were happening. Yes, we do understand that. But it was all, both of us were so much dedicated
So
to
no, I
you.
understand. So what I don't want to go into all of that because
Okay,
we don't
okay.
have time for that, but I do
Right,
hear
right,
your
right.
situation.
Mm.
What I want you to be able to do, the question I want you to ask, what in the world are you going to do about it? If you're committed to changing your family dynamic, then you have to make a commitment, and you have to get the support, and you have to stop this negative pattern. Simple.
Yes, I
So
I accept my all these things, and now I talk to my daughter about it, that yes, I know you guys were, I couldn't put a lot of time, both of us couldn't put a lot of time, and you know I try to listen to them.
So I'm really
So
going to
all the
interrupt
things.
this. I have to interrupt this because we have to log off in 2 minutes. So I think
Oh,
you know my answer, and I
right.
look forward to supporting you when you feel committed. So everyone, the program that I'm talking about, it has limited seats because there is a lot of individual sessions that are built in, and I can only have so many individual appointments. Please understand that there is over 430 people now that are registered for each 3 days. So if you are really committed to your health, and you're committed with your finances and your time to get the support that you need, then it is the time for you to take me up on my offer of coming and seeing with me to see if you qualify. And right now for the registrants, the program is there discounts that I'm offering that you can get in. And so I would love for you to do that. So tune in for the replay for today. And also make sure you do your homework in the Women Breaking Free. I will make a post there right away after I end. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow if that's what the topic is of interest to you. Our physical health, mental health, and how it shows up in a relationship is all one thing. That's why I picked those 3 things. So attending live is a way for you to be eligible to win the prizes. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for your presence. I see all of you. I know that you are struggling, but I want you to know that you have options and that you have help available. You have to open the door that's knocking, right? That's the action step that you need to take if you're willing, ready, and committed to take it. So with that, we are going to log out and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you and take care.